Today we have another grinder comparison. We have the Baratza Sette 270WI in the DF64 Turin. Before we dive into this comparison and review, I just want to say welcome to Kabin's Coffee Corner. This channel is designed to help you choose the gear you want to brew with at home. If you'd please help me out by liking and subscribing to my channel, that would really help me produce more content. If you're looking at purchasing anything, please use the link below where I'll make a slight commission at no extra charge to you. Second off, I do want to announce that this DF Turin was given to me at a slight discount in exchange for a review, but this review can be entirely what I want to say. I don't have to say anything about this grinder if I don't want to. So just wanted to give a fair warning about this. This is still a completely unbiased review, and I still did have to pay for this grinder. Lastly, I do have an Instagram account called Kabin's Coffee Corner. You're more than welcome to follow me there. Let's dive into it. So we got the Baratza Sette 270WI. This is, I believe, at $580 if you get it without the smart scale. So if you get it without the WI, so it's just the Baratza Sette 270, it would be about $400. This one is currently online at Espresso Outlet for $450, I believe, but it wouldn't surprise me if this grinder went up in price. So we're looking at this one is about $100 more with the scale feature, and this one is $50 more than the one without the scale feature. So let's go ahead and dive on to the features, and we're going to compare that starting off. So first off, they both come with these catch cups here. This one is way better in my opinion because you can put a 58 milliliter Florida filter on top of it, flip it over, and it fits perfectly on this one. This one you kind of just have to finagle it in with the spout here. But I do like this cup quite a lot. This one also has the feature of pushing down this handle, and you can slide a portafilter in right there so you can grind straight into a portafilter. This one you can also put a portafilter in the hands right here. Both of these are what is known as a zero retention grinder. Zero retention being that the grinder does not hold any grounds on the inside, or at least very little inside. So like what you put in bean-wise is what's going to come out bean-wise. So the benefit of that for the home user, if you don't have grind retention, you don't have to purge through grind. So on a traditional non-zero retention grinder, what would happen if you put 18 grams in, you'd pull your shot of espresso, and say it was off, you maybe change your grind setting a little bit, pull again, but what you're actually doing is you would be pushing through 2 grams of old coffee into your new grind setting. So even if it's a day old, you'll be having like a couple grams of coffee going into your shot of espresso that were ground the day before, because it would hold a couple of grams of coffee on the inside. These hold very little. I don't know specifically how much, but like 0.02 if that. So that's something to be thinking about. This one is more of you load this up with beans, and to get the best results you'll load it up with beans, and then you'll just grind until the time is done if you have the non-WI, or this one has the Akaya scale, which is about $150 scale or so built into it. So you click 18, it's going to grind out 18.0. If you want to do 18.5, it's going to grind out 18.5 automatically each time. This one you have to basically, this is the hopper here, so you put your 18 grams in and you grind your 18 grams, so you have to load it up every single time. The benefit I find for this one is the fact that if you change beans often or change brew methods often, it's easier to do that with this grinder because you don't have to mess with changing the hopper. And if you change the hopper and turn it off, it locks all the beans, so you can then dump them out here. There's a lock off, but you still will hold like 5 to 6 grams, I would say, of coffee in there after you lock that off. So you'd still have to be wasting coffee or dumping it over to get that. This one is quite loud. This marks the 7. The 7 represents the 7th year of Baratza, which is kind of how they got this design. This also has 270 adjustments on here, meaning that this top part here is a click adjustment, and you can see the numbers written right here. And this A through A through I down here is the fine adjustment settings, so you can fine tune and tweak it. So if you find it's too big of a jump from 15 to 14, you can go and tweak that down a little bit. So it has 270 degrees, or 270 grind settings you can do when you do the math together. So it's basically a stepless adjustment. So you got stepped up here and then a stepless tweaking here. This one is all stepless, so when you move it, you just simply move it to wherever you want it, and that's how you do things. And it can go all the way up to do coarser grinds like a Chemex or a cold brew or V60 or Kalita Wave, whatever you want to do. This one is really gonna, this can do V60, but it's not really gonna do very well in V60. This is more aimed toward espresso on there. This one, not that it's a big deal, but this has a detachable cord. So you can unplug that from the back of it. But there is no core storage, so if this is like a countertop and a wall in your kitchen here, you're going to have to figure out a creative way to like tape the cords to the back of this grinder so it's not all spread out on top of your countertop. If you have a coffee bar set up like this, you can simply just drop the cord off the back here and it looks clean that way. Let's get into a few other things here. So when I consider zero retention, this one does substantially better. You get pretty much zero retention in there because they have a unique burr setup here where the inner burr, I believe, stays placed and the outer burr rotates along here, and the grinds go directly straight down through into your coffee. This one kind of has a bellow on top here, which means you're supposed to simply press that bellow to remove the excess grinds from the machine, because you have beans go in and then they have to go out this way and they can kind of get clogged up in there, so it has this bellow in there. But even with the bellow, I find when you take this machine entirely apart, this one has more grounds on the inside than this one. Something to think about. It's not bad though on the inside. It is still fairly zero retention in realms of other grinders that I have tested and used over time. If you're looking for an all-around grinder, this one is going to do better. If you're looking for probably convenience, I think this one definitely does a lot better, because when you click the wait button and it dispenses that, it's a really nice thing to do that in the morning if you're not changing coffees a lot, if you're just going for espresso. Another thing to note is this one has conical burrs, this one has flat burrs. What that means is this one has a cone shape here, and typically the cone would be the thing that spins, but this one is a little different, and it has a round outer burr on the outside that the cone goes inside. So the outer burr spins, shoving the coffee through this way. This one has flat burrs. Coffee goes in and it goes out these flat burrs that sit basically on top of each other, and that is kind of more of a preference type of a thing on which one you like better. Both are great and both have their strengths and their faults. This one is loud and pretty lightweight. I can lift this fairly easily sitting down with one hand. I don't know. I can barely lift that. I can't really get that off the ground. I can get it off the ground with my left hand. But basically where I was going on with this is solid metal here. This is all plastic everywhere, and they did that so they could cut the cost down, because this is a phenomenal grinder for that. This one is all metal pretty much, except for this. Is that metal? Even this base plate is metal. Is it? That's plastic. That's plastic, but this entire casing is metal. So it does a very, very good job, and it feels very solid when you do grind with it. Overall, if I were picking one or the other, I think I would pick this one, because it's not just about convenience. This is kind of an all-around grinder for me. It's cheaper than this one. Like, I can buy this one, and I can almost buy the Akai scale that's built into it that I could have outside of it. But even if you're comparing this one to the non-WI thing and just the 270W, or 270W, no, just, sorry, 270, and this one's $50 more, you're going to get so much better quality out of that $50 out of this one, and I think your shots will taste substantially better with this one over the Baratza. If you have any questions with this or any of these grinders, please let me know. I tried to get a quick little overview of each of them, but I'm sure I've missed some stuff. But if you own one of these two and want to share your opinions, feel free to do that in the comments below. But if you have any questions or want to know some more on these, please let me know. Those questions in the description in the comments below. Like I said, please, if you're looking at purchasing these, please use the affiliate link below. I'm just going to start off right at the bat. This is the only one that I make commission off of. I prefer this one. I do not make any commission. I have no benefit to it, but the company graciously sent me one at a discount, so I would appreciate it if you did help them out by purchasing this grinder through them. Also, this little dial indicator here, that was sent to me from Portakeeper, and it's $12, and it's definitely well worth it because this is the dial indicator on it, which is very, very difficult to line up. So if you'd support them out too, that'd be greatly appreciated. Again, no commission on anything related to this, only on this. Just want to be transparent with you on this, but all that money goes straight back into making YouTube videos to help you guys choose what you want to brew with at home. And lastly, again, thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you found this video at all helpful. Thank you so much.